Okay, so we're back. If you've been watching us, we've been tracing out some of the Cat5 or cables that were here in the house and trying to figure out where they go to and come from and figure out how to trace those out. So what we've been using is a Klein Tools Pro Scout. So let's talk about this because there's a couple different versions of this, so I want you to know what I'm using and why. First of all, I left this at a friend's house. We were tracing out one of his cables at his place, but this is the slot where the tone generator goes, and then here's the tone receiver. And the way you use this is, let's say you've got a cable that you have no idea where it lands in the closet. You can go plug this into one end, and then you can turn this on. Give me a second, I gotta pull it out here. So you turn this on right here, and you can raise and lower the volume, and then you run this along the cable and it'll generate a tone and you'll hear it. Really cool thing about this is it has a light, so if you're working in a dark space. But that's what that is. The actual tone generator, again, left it over at a friend's house the other day. It goes there, but it will come with the kit. And we'll talk about that because I'm giving this thing away. So what this is the Pro Scout Tools kit. And there's two different versions of this. This is the first version, or the second version. It's a Pro Scout 3. It does phone, coax. It does a network cable, generates tones, and then it does something right here. So let's turn this thing on. And right now it's showing open, right? Give me one second. The kit comes with a bunch of these Cat5 cables. But since we're running shielded Cat6A, I've been using some of my MyNewHomeProjects jumper cables for this. So let me plug this in here so that'll get there. And then we'll take one of these testers and we'll stick it on here. Give me one second. And then we're going to have it test. I don't know if you can see that or not. I hope so. But yes, shielded. So it shows you it's shielded. It gives you a pass. It tells you the identity number, and it tells you how your pinouts are. So this is really cool kit because it comes with additional ends. So the first end that comes with it is actually built into the device. So if you get the basic device, it comes with this as it sits, right? And you can put your regular phone line in there, your ISDN, and then you can do your Cat cable in here, and then your coax. Okay, I'll tell you what's special about this one in a minute, but it comes with different tips that you can put in here. So you can screw this in here like so. And it's always a little bit of a pain getting it started. And then you can just pop it on a male. So this is a female tip. And you also have male to male tips. So you can put this one on here. And the reason it's nice is because if you're tracing out a ton of cables, you can, this is identity number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can plug in a bunch of cables, get back to the closet, and then trace each one out instead of having to run back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, which is excellent. So it comes with a bunch of these male to male and male to female tips. It comes with some ISDN and phone line tips, or patch cables right here, some Cat cables. But as I said, I'm using my MyNewHomeProjects shielded Cat6A cables because I'm doing shielded. So the reason I got this is because tracing everything out, I wanted the tone generator, I wanted the tone receiver, because I didn't know how the wiring was. But the reason I got this one was simple. It has an additional port over here that the other one does not have, and it's for power over Ethernet. So that way we can check our PoE, because as I've mentioned before, we're doing a ton of security upgrades, and I want to make sure that everything is good. So as I run my Cat6A to my security cameras that I'm hardwiring, I want to ensure that not only is the cable good, but I have run the cable in a short enough distance that I don't degrade the power signal over that distance. So right now, this is not going to work because this is not plugged into a PoE switch as of yet. It will be, but I'm going to run the PoE switch right there. And give me one second. and it says obviously PoE fail. But what it also does is, and this is a short 6-inch patch cable, so again, this isn't going to work either, but it does tell you your distance in feet from point A to point B. So if you run, 100 feet, it will tell you it's 100 feet, and it will tell you what your PoE PoE setting is. I mean, how much voltage you're getting from one end to the other. So that way, if you're running a PoE plus versus a PoE plus plus that needs higher power to run that piece of equipment, if you're getting the proper voltage before you plug it in and you start having issues at the other end for the PoE equipment that you're running and you can't figure out why it's not working. Well, if you need 80 watts and it's only pulling like 74 watts, you could have issues. So that's exactly why I got this one. It's the more expensive unit that will tell you the feet and tell you your voltage, tell you if you passed your PoE and all that good stuff. So the other cool thing is if you're doing a network, you can set this and it'll say open, obviously, but you can set it on loop on, and it'll actually do a loop back test for you as you're running it. So let me plug this back in here real quick. So now that it's plugged in, it says ID1, which is correct, shielded pass. And then I'm going to press and hold this down, and it says loop off, and which will just do a test. And then loop on will continuously do a test. So in other words, if loop off, we'll just test it real quick and then stop. Loop on will continuously keep testing it. So if you have a loose connection, you can run a loop, which I've had this happen to in some network closets before. The cable looks good. You do a pass on it, then you plug it in and you start having issues again. And you're like, what is going on? And it's because, I swear to, this has happened a bunch of times, is the keystone in the patch panel starts going bad. So you plug it in and you hold it right and it's working, but as soon as you walk away, it vibrates a little bit and it stops working. So what you can do is plug one end in and move this around with a loop on test. And then if it fails because there's something wrong with the keystone or this, it will tell you it's suddenly failed. And if that one's working, then you can plug it in and go around to the other side and try it and see if that one's the one that's failing. So having that loop back test is definitely helpful for a bunch of scenarios. But yeah, it does shielded CAT, it does COAX, which is we're installing a bunch of COAX. We're installing this Cat 6A shielded twisted pair throughout the whole security system in the whole house. It's plenum, so that way it's nice and fire rated. But yeah, this is what we're using. And when I accumulate 50,000 subscribers, I am going to give this whole kit away, the whole thing. So this Pro Scout 3, the tone receiver, the tone generator when I get it back from my friend's house, all these. I may even throw in a couple of these monoprice cables, so that way you have some shielded twisted pair patch cables. But I'm going to give the whole thing away as soon as I get 50,000 subscribers, and that'll be a nice freebie. Okay, wait till you hear what I'm giving away for the 100,000 subscriber celebration mark. You're going to be floored. I'm going to be giving away a bunch of stuff, so that way everybody has something to shoot for. Stay tuned for that. I'll be talking about that when I talk about the 75,000 giveaway in a little bit, and I'll give the 75 and 100,000. So this whole kit I'm going to give away. It's been excellent. We're obviously going to use it as we're working on the house and getting everything set. But once it's set, I'll be done with it. And when I'm done with it, and we have 50,000 subscribers, someone will get the Pro Scout 3 from me. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.